3 explanations for Rhea Ripley not becoming WWE Ms. Money in the Bank. WWE superstar Rhea Ripley entered the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match as a fan favorite. However, the final moments of the match saw her take a face-first fall from a ladder onto another ladder, allowing Naomi to unhook the briefcase. Here are 3 reasons why Mommy didn't become Ms. Money in the Bank. Rhea Ripley doesn't need the MITB contract. Rhea Ripley is one of the most popular stars in WWE's women's division right now. The Eradicator held the Women's World Championship for a year in her first reign and won it back on Raw's Netflix debut after previously relinquishing it due to an injury. Her feud with Liv Morgan and the Judgment Day has significantly elevated Mommy's standing in the last 12 months. Despite not being in the Women's World Championship match at WrestleMania 41, Ripley eventually found her way in at the last minute. Needless to say, the Aussie can organically enter a title feud and doesn't need the Money in the Bank contract to win the Women's World Championship again. Rhea Ripley is already in a feud with Io Sky. Io Sky had dethroned Rhea Ripley on a March 2025 episode of Raw with this year's Women's Elimination Chamber match winner, Bianca Belair, spectating everything with the commentators. The EST of WWE had cheered for the Damage Control star on one occasion when she had fallen near the announce desk. This ticked Mommy off, who fought with Belair and lost her title owing to being distracted because of the EST's presence. In reality, Rhea Ripley had suffered a clean defeat against the Japanese star. The same happened at WrestleMania 41 when Io Sky retained her title in a triple threat against Mommy and Belair. Right now, the Aussie isn't making any impulsive moves, but she has let the Damage Control star know that she is after the title. Thus, the two are still locked in a feud that is waiting to get physical. Mommy will likely win the Women's World Championship in Australia. This year's Crown Jewel Premium Live event will take place in Perth, Australia. This makes it very likely that WWE may try to put the Women's World Championship on Rhea Ripley at the PLE, who will have the home crowd support. Last time at the 2024 Elimination Chamber, Mommy had defended the title against Nia Jax in Perth. The Aussie fans cheered the Eradicator from the moment she made her entrance until she won the match and held the belt high. Thus, WWE will probably try to recreate the same magic once again. Moreover, she can also win the Women's World Championship ahead of the PLE and enter her home turf as a titleholder once again. It will be interesting to see what lies ahead for Ripley after Money in the Bank. Rhea Ripley tries to smash former champion's head in with a ladder, gets destroyed instead. At Money in the Bank 2025, Rhea Ripley had to deal with the nerves of entering uncharted territory. She tried to smash a former champion's head in with a ladder, only to get destroyed instead. It was a competitive field as Rhea Ripley had to deal with names like Naomi and Alexa Bliss, as well as newcomers Roxanne Perez, Stephanie Vaquer, and Julia. Naturally, she crossed paths with all of the women. When going up against former 2-time NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez, she tried to hit the razor's edge onto a ladder, but in a beautiful sequence, the Prodigy countered Ripley and sent her crashing into the ladder. Following this, Perez would briefly resume her alliance with Julia, from a few weeks ago on Raw, and work together to bury Ripley under a rubble of ladders. It isn't a surprise that Ripley was one of the prime targets of superstars like Perez. The general strategy for MITB is to take out all the competition, which meant that Julia and Roxanne Perez were always going to turn on each other. Either way, it was incredible instincts from the Prodigy, who was front and center in the star-studded bout at the Premium Live event. Rhea Ripley's last chance, Triple H's new favorite? For stars who could become WWE Queen of the Ring. Triple H made Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis the WWE General Managers for the main roster. Pearce runs Monday Night Raw, while Aldis is the head of Friday Night SmackDown. The two are rarely in the same place at the same time, and are on the same page even less frequently. Despite that, Nick and Adam were united in making a major announcement on SmackDown. They revealed that the King of the Ring tournament and the Queen of the Ring tournament are both set to return. With World Wrestling Entertainment changing the initial Queen's Crown tournament retroactively, this will be the third ever Queen of the Ring tournament. Zelina won the first tournament, and Nia Jax stood tall last year. As of now, it isn't clear which competitors will be in this tournament. Still, some early predictions can be made as to who will become the next Queen of the Ring. This article will look at a handful of potential options, including the biggest name in women's wrestling. This could be Rhea Ripley's last chance to get another shot at Io Sky's title. Rhea Ripley is the biggest female star in pro wrestling today. Not only has she headlined major WWE shows, but she is also a multi-time world champion. She is also the most popular women's performer in the industry today. The Eradicator has had an interesting ongoing story with Io Sky. She defeated Mommy for the WWE Women's World Championship. Although they had a lot of tension, the two eventually formed a bond. Still, Rhea has made it clear that she intends to win Money in the Bank and get the Women's World title back. If she fails to win that bout, however, Ripley could be added to the Queen of the Ring tournament and go on to be in a headline match at SummerSlam. Stephanie Vaquer could move up the card immediately. Stephanie Vaquer is one of the brightest prospects in WWE. While she has recently joined the Monday Night Raw roster, La Primera has already won gold in NXT. She has held both the NXT Women's Championship and the Women's North American title. Just like Rhea Ripley, Stephanie Vaquer is in the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match for the first time. Those two stars will be taking on Julia, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, and Roxanne Perez in an intense six-woman bout. Due to the volatile nature of the ladder match, there is a very real chance that Stephanie doesn't win. Thankfully, the newest WWE Raw star could be elevated up the card quickly through the Queen of the Ring tournament. Jade Cargill's WWE push is inevitable. Jade Cargill is an absolute powerhouse who looks as if she were carved out of marble. Her impressive physique can't be matched. Additionally, Jade is incredibly confident and surprisingly quick in the ring. As a result, she has won the WWE Women's Tag Team titles and the AEW TBS Championship in the past. Cargill has spent most of her WWE career either teaming up with Bianca Belair or feuding with Naomi. While she's been kept away from the main event scene for now, her push to the top of the card feels inevitable sooner rather than later. Knowing that her push on the card is coming, it could begin with the Queen of the Ring tournament. If she were to win it, Jade could challenge Tiffany Stratton for the world title at SummerSlam in what would be an excellent match. Julia appears to be one of Triple H's favorites. Julia is one of the most dangerous female performers in the world. After unprecedented success in Japan, she joined WWE and quickly won the NXT Women's Championship. She is a force to be reckoned with, to say the very least. The Beautiful Madness is another new star to WWE's main roster. With that being said, she has her eyes on the Women's United States Championship. In fact, she even laid Zelina Vega out on SmackDown yesterday. Many believe Julia is one of Triple H's new favorites.